Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Japan for the 16th and final round of the 2003 Formula One season. Let's get started.
Located approximately 70 kilometers southwest of Nagoya, the exciting Suzuka circuit combines two medium-speed straights with a technical arrangement including a hairpin, as well as fast-sweeping and 90-degree turns. Owned by Honda, Suzuka has a somewhat unique figure-of-eight layout, causing the track to cross over itself.
First off, we have qualifying where I made a few mistakes throughout the lap, and that is a 143.364, meaning we'll probably start from somewhere in the back.
Hello there. Welcome to Japan. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Montoya first. Schumacher second. Coulthard third. Jenson Button fourth. Mark Webber fifth. Schumacher sixth. Ralph Furman seventh. Nick Heidfeld eighth. Antonio Pizzonia ninth. Jack Villeneuve 10th. Heinz Harald Frentzen 11th. Barrichello 12th. Raikkonen 13th. Alonso just managed to get the edge over his championship rival, the Toyota driver. The Toyota driver 15th. Jarno Trulli 16th. Fisichella 17th. Jos Verstappen 18th. Justin Wilson 19th. Cristiano D'Amata was way off the pace of his teammate. He starts in 20th.
And here we are on the grid for the 2003 Japanese Grand Prix. This is it, guys. Today we're gonna find out who the world champion is and whether or not I get to stay within the top 5. There is a slight chance that I might drop outside of it, so I have to make sure I finish the race and that I finish it in the points. We already have a retirement in the form of Frentzen, who is stuck on the grid, as I'm now battling truly for position through the S section. I get through and up into 13th, Barrichello will be next. I need to gain as many positions as I can now on the first lap, because after things settle, it is going to be a lot harder. The car doesn't feel quite right in some of the corners on this circuit, and I dip my left side into the grass and that spins me around. This is not what I wanted. Anyway, here is a replay of the start. Everyone pulls away except for Frentzen, who is stuck on the grid, and as I try to go around his car, Fisichella taps me from behind. Luckily, no damage was done to my suspension. Then I gained a few positions by staying on the outside through turn 1, and it was looking good for the moment. Until of course I went off. And we're now on board with Giancarlo Fisichella, who gets a pretty decent start, better than me anyway. He slightly taps me from behind, and as I just said, luckily my suspension was intact after the contact. But now I need to fight my way back up. However, at the moment it seems that the cars in front are slowly pulling away as I make a complete mess out of the spoon curve. I lost one entire second through there, which is obviously not good. But that is one of the corners where the car feels more like a truck than a race car. As we are now approaching the high speed 130R, where for some reason I lose a lot of speed, even though I didn't lift. I went flat out through there, yet somehow I lost speed. That corner is not that sharp to lose so much speed. But anyway, we are now coming around to finish lap 1 of this Japanese Grand Prix. We've got a tough fight ahead of us, so let's hope I can pull myself together and start passing some cars. On lap 2, as I was approaching the spoon curve, I was informed of an incident involving David Coulthard, as I again mess up my line through here. And here we have David Coulthard in his West McLaren Mercedes, and we can clearly see some light smoke coming out of the rear of his car. He pulls to the side, and that is the end of the race for the Scotsman. whilst I get a free spot, so I move up into 18th, and that was a horrible line coming out of the chicane. Anyway, it's time to start pushing, otherwise I will be stuck here at the back, and there are no points to be found here. Those are at the front. On lap 7, as I was coming out of Spoon, I got just a bit too wide and scraped the belly of the car on the curbs, slowing me down. Luckily, the plank is not measured in the game, so I don't have to worry about it being too thin. Towards the end of lap 8, as I was coming through the chicane, I got a bit wide on the exit, the curbing there is a bit higher than through the rest of the chicane, and I was carrying just enough speed to launch me into the air, and then lose control of the car, and now I'm fiddling around trying to get the car back onto the track. I lost at least 10 seconds there. That's devastating. Lap 9, as I was approaching the Spoon curve, I touched the curbing on the right there, nearly lost the car, but that slowed me down quite a bit. At this point I was starting to get increasingly frustrated, which is not good. Lap 11, coming through the S's, I mount the curb on the left there, which stuck the car in, and I yanked the steering wheel a bit too suddenly, and I almost lost control again. Frustration keeps building, and that leads to me making all these mistakes. All I wanted now was to catch up to the rest of the pack, but because of my frustration I was no longer concentrating on my racing lines. Instead I was trying to push the car in ways it was not meant to be pushed, and that will cost me in the end. At the end of lap 13, I had to come in for fuel and tires. By this point I was so far behind that it was next to impossible to even catch the next car in front, let alone a points scoring position, and of course I had to mess up my stop. It's not like I haven't lost enough time already. Yeah, this is me when I'm frustrated. I pay absolutely no attention to the things that I actually should. And I was just lapped by someone. Brilliant. So let's see what we can do from here. This is still my outlap, and I've been informed that Villeneuve was having problems with his car. So let's have a look. And here is Jacques Villeneuve coming into turn 1. There is indeed smoke coming from the rear of the BAR. As he now enters the S's, he pulls to the side, and that is it for the Canadian. What a shame. But that will give us one more free spot, but that's still not enough, and by the looks of it, I think I will be stuck here at the back. This is lap 15 and I go really wide and off the track through the Degna curve, assuring that I lose even more valuable time. I'm not exactly having fun in this race. This is still lap 15, just as I was approaching the Spoon curve. I mount the curve there on the right, which sucks me in, so I turn the wheel in the opposite direction to set me free. Unfortunately, that had the added side effect of destabilizing my car and sending it into a spin, losing me even more precious time. Towards the end of lap 15, I kind of cut across the chicane, which unbalances the car and sends me into another spin. This is looking hopeless, guys. Don't know how much more I can take of this. Towards the end of lap 16, I was coming into the 130R corner. I touched the curb on the inside there. The car lost balance. I tried to save it, but there was nothing I could do. What a shame. Although, in some ways, I was relieved that it was over. But here's the replay. I'm coming into the 130R at 310 kilometers per hour. Touched the curbing there slightly. Unfortunately, the moment I did that, I became nothing more than a passenger. There was nothing I could have done to save it. What a disastrous race this has been. I believe this is my worst race to date in the series. That's quite disappointing. Not the way I wanted to end the season, that's for sure. And because of this, I think we'll drop outside of the top 5, which is even more disappointing. Ah well, it's time to pack our bags and get ready for the next season, but first, let's have one final look at the standings.
That was an unforgettable Japanese Grand Prix. Here are the final results. Button first. Montoya second. Schumacher third. Heidfeld fourth. Mark Webber fifth. Fernando Alonso sixth. With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship.
So, Michael Schumacher wins the 2003 World title, and I think this is the first time he did it in this series. Coulthard is runner-up, 6 points behind with 74. Montoya finishes third with 68 points. Alonso is fourth with 62 points. Amazingly, we managed to stay within the top 5. We are fifth with 54 points. Raikkonen sixth with 45. Teammate Damata 7th with 36 points. In 8th we have Nick Heidfeld with 30 points. Ralf Schumacher is 9th with 29 points. Jenson Button 10th with 27 points. Verman 11th with 22 points. In 12th we have Villeneuve with 20 points. 13th is held by Webber with 16 points. 14th by Wilson with 14 points. Giancarlo Fisichella is 15th with 10 points. Verstappen 16th with 7 points. Frentzen and Pizzogna share 17th with 5 points. Barrichello 18th with 4 points. And Trulli finishes the season in 19th with 1 point. McLaren win the 2003 Constructors title with 119 points. Williams takes second with 97 points. Toyota, our team, drops to third with 90 points. Ferrari are fourth with 84 points. Renault fifth with 63 points. BAR are sixth with 47 points. Sauber are seventh with 45 points. Jordan eighth with 32 points. And Jaguar and Minardi share ninth with 21 points. Well, that was a horrible way to end the season, and looking back now, it wasn't a good season, but it wasn't the worst either. Despite the fact that I retired from 5 out of the 16 races, I still managed to finish the season in quite a respectable position, especially if we compare Toyota's real-life results to our own. But I do wish I could have done a bit more. Sadly, that wasn't the case. The car wasn't really competitive, and in some cases, it was an absolute nightmare to drive. Either way, that is it for the Japanese Grand Prix, and that is it for the 2003 Formula 1 season. Next time we meet, it will be in Australia for the opening round of the 2004 season. However, you will have to wait for that until next Sunday, I'm afraid. There will be no video on this Wednesday. There are a few things I need to take care of in real life, and I can no longer put them off. So there will be no video on Wednesday. As such, I will extend the voting period and give you until Wednesday night. So if you haven't voted yet for next season's team, now is the time to do it. Link is in the description. Anyway, until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.